Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Fred Packard. I'll be the DM for tonight's evening, bringing in our lovely players. How's everybody doing tonight?
Yay!
Wunderbar.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I'm very excited after a week's break of essentially, taking a week off here. I'm glad to get to dive back into things. Want to start off by saying, thank you for playing, and it's been a good, fun 15 episodes. Tonight's the 15th episode that we're recording here. It's been a blast. So first, let's start with you guys introducing your characters. Actually, before that, we're going to have a Discord. I'm going to put this out there to the ether, and you guys will be able to join in.
It's pronounced
Ether, whatever. Ether. We do
no,
this.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, I get it. We do this for the content. So we're going to have a Discord where everybody will be able to join in. They'll be able to keep up with all the backstories and the characters. All of our players are doing like daily journals. There's going to be a lot of content that you'll be able to dive right into. This should be probably up and running hopefully by next week. If not the following week after. So keep a lookout on that. We'll add the Discord to our future streams in the description below. Also in the description below is our Twitter. So if you guys want to keep up on some funny D&D memes, if you want to follow us as players and anything D&D related, follow us on our Twitter. The link is also in the description below. Starting off, let's get into you guys introducing yourselves and your characters. We'll start with Josh.
Cool. So my character is Loke Lani. He is a member of the Madrove clan. He is human. And during some time after the Madrove clan was nearly wiped out, he found his way to becoming a blood hunter. And I haven't gone into too much detail about that at the moment. Maybe in the next few episodes. So, but my character, he is definitely seeking revenge against the empire that has been trying to take over the islands. And being that now he knows that there is a possible inevitable future that could lead to the Semet Empire destroying everything that he holds dear. His new goal now is to make sure that does not happen.
Sweet. Then next to you, we have Mr. Brall Strongheart.
Yes, my name is Rick. I am playing a 42-year-old dwarf named Brall Strongheart. He's a paladin who swore the Oath of the Ancients. He's a deep connection with nature. Has always felt more connected to the great outdoors than the great underground. He's on a quest to find his brother. Oh, important details. He wears a kilt, and he doesn't wear shoes. He likes the feeling of the earth beneath his feet.
All right, and then after Brall Strongheart, we have Miss Carla Valliere. Oh, you're muted.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Carla.
Why you do that?
It's just your face.
I cannot perform like this.
There you go. You're a little zoomed out.
That's what
We're all here for support.
Okay.
Yes, Brall. My wife did say that.
Thank you.
We're all here for support.
Anyway, I am Carla. I play a really shy Eladrin named Danan. She is a Feyborn sorcerer who found herself all of a sudden in the land of Ether. And after meeting this bunch of adventurers, we found
Ragtag
back.
group of adventurers.
Yeah, we found back our way somehow to the Feywild, and we don't know why, and we're really confused. I do know there are certain flows that we cannot cross. So
And after Miss Carla Vellier, we have Mr. Mayo himself.
Well, hello, Frederick. How are you?
I'm doing okay, Mr. Terry Mayo. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. A bit tired, but I'm ready to jump in and kill something, eat something.
Waiting something.
Drink
Yeah.
some mushroom drink, you know?
Yeah.
Always ready for that.
Always ready for that. My character's name is Lox. He's a little grung guy. He's like a little midget hulkling, I guess you could say. He's ready to party. He's got a strong heart, and he's not very fond of humans, but he gets along with most everyone else. Sorry, Josh.
Minus Loki Lani.
The only human of the group. I am the minority.
And
So I
on the docket, we have Ukala.
Hi, I'm Barney. I'm playing Cal, an ex-warrior of the Seyden tribe in the land of Ether. He's a half-elf, and he was, for a week before the Great War started, so 5 years ago, he made his way into some woods, and he came out 5 years later, though time for himself seemed to pass at a regular pace. So he was thrown into the war with not that much knowing what's going on. Now he's following along in this group and he's looking for a couple different people who may know something. He made his way into some woods and he came out. We getting some echo here? What was that?
You're okay.
that was
Okay.
church.
Where was I? That threw me off.
Yeah, that was an echo. I was muting the YouTube.
Oh,
Muting the YouTube.
all the YouTube. Yeah, so he's searching for a couple different people for answers to his questions. And right now, we're trapped in the Feywild, so I'll go ahead and leave it off to the next person who's actually been trapped in the Feywild.
Yes. So my name is Eric. Thanks for having me, by the way, everyone, again. The most recent addition.
You're welcome again.
Yeah, really pulled my arm.
Yeah, it's been fun as Jericho Feywild. So he doesn't remember his last name, hence he took on the name of the Fey. He has been trapped. So he's essentially in the land where he's from, which, as we've come to learn, is in the future, in the same island that everyone else is from. He's an avowed Semet worshiper, but it's kind of the popular thing of the time. He fought for the government and has been in the trenches, and so he's seen some shit. He's pretty battle hardened. Basically, when he was heading home from a war, he was swept into the Feywild, and now he's here, and he's survived for 3 years, waiting to see his wife and kid, who he's never met. So he's just kind of
Very
putting up with these
Odyssean.
people to try to get home.
Making my way downtown.
Exactly.
Making my way downtown. All right, so with that being said, everybody, let's start tonight's episode of Nat One Network.
yeah.
Well, that makes me excited. So let's start this off with.
Good. So good.
Thank you again, Josh, for making that. Brall, hit us with the recap from last week's episode.
Roger. So, at the end of the episode before the last episode, the group was laying down for a long night's rest when Brall decided to go for a walk in the middle of the night at the start of First Watch. And as he exited the airship house and walked past Loki, Loki noticed him just whoosh, vanish. Turns out he was teleported through space-time back in the position where he was walking out, and all of a sudden got really excited to play with space-time. So Loki, Brall, and Danon investigated this mystical, magical source of magic that was outside the airship. Lox had a nice chat with Jericho in his workshop and also got drunk off some sweet mushroom ale, which then was shared amongst the rest of the group and had a cornucopia of side effects to it, which you might expect from magic mushrooms in a land of magic and spontaneity. So then party laid down for rest. Oh, wait. All right. Good. Sorry. I was doing all this by memory and I forgot that I'd written this down. Right. Okay.
Just read the words.
I know. I'm catching up. Oh, yeah. All right. Here we go. So, the next morning, Jericho found an old map of ether in his airship that the rest of the group recognized as the ether where they came from. But Jericho only knows it as what his ether used to be. The group discussed the ramifications and acknowledged the possibility that Jericho is from an ether several hundred years into the future, as claimed by Jericho, based on what he knows of the map at the time of him seeing it. After gathering their things, the party set off north from the Dream Grove area, Shroudwood, right? Did I say that right?
Is the Shroudwood Dream Grove?
Oh,
Shroudwood, yes.
So it's not the other way around?
This is the best recap I've ever heard.
Yes.
If you're watching, you're probably more confused than I am.
In an effort, right. So after gathering their things, the party set off north from the Dream Grove area, Shroudwood, or the Shroudwood area, Dream Grove.
It's orange red and red orange.
In an effort to track down the infamous dinner party where they were invited to and have spent the last several episodes trying to find. After traveling for a bit, the group found themselves between 4 giant dandelions with doors in the stems. After investigating the doors, each adventurer started seeing a silhouette in each door. But that silhouette appeared to be a different individual to each adventurer. Crazy. And then, wait.
So much weed.
You got it.
And then,
Oh, God.
I'm almost there. And then Cal cast protection from good and evil, but like on the low key so that no one would see him. And once he did, all the silhouettes in the dandelion doors converged into one silhouette. And guess who it was? It was the horny dude who crawled out of the fireplace.
Where'd that horny dude come from?
The guy that we were looking for, he showed up in the dandelion doors. And that's where we pick up.
And it's time for our first break.
All right. Well,
Oh man, I'm looking forward to listening to that recap.
I'm not. All right, so
We're gonna need a recap of that recap next week.
Diving in, everybody, find your character, find yourself. Here we go. So as you venture through the door that's built out of the dandelion, which is no longer a dandelion, which is now a redwood tree, you walk through, and you're sucked through and as soon as I start, my girlfriend comes home, and the dog is barking. Epic start to tonight's
Nat One Network.
I was so in character, guys.
Okay,
Wait, I lost my character sheet.
so
Come back to endless recap.
Okay.
Brall, take it up again. One more time.
All right, here we go. So,
So you guys walk through the dandelion tree, and you end up on the you kind of go through like this little, almost what you went through when you first jumped through the portal to end up in the Feywild, but not as long. You're not spinning as much, as more of a quick jolt that you feel, and you step through and you walk into this clearing, and you see a table sitting in the center, four chairs on each side that you notice, and on each end another table. So there's a total of 10 chairs, and sitting at one end you see a small dwarf, and on the other end you see the horned figure. Around you, you see mushrooms that are very large and tall in stature. You see more dandelions. You see a lot of greens and blues kind of swirling about as if there's a river behind this table. The trees and all the dandelions and the mushrooms, they're about 30 feet in the air, and they stretch high above this clearing. And it's a grass field with the table that sits there. Standing up, the horned man kind of gestures over. Welcome to dinner. Welcome. What does the group do?
So is this kind of like the Mad Hatter? Like,
I take a seat.
It's kind of like the Mad Hatter, yes.
Yeah.
I find a chair close to the dwarf.
Okay.
And pull one up. What's at the table? Is there any kind of like food
You
or
see plates that are laid out right now, and they all have like a covering on top of it, like a metal topper, if you will, on top of all these plates.
I will.
actually, if I recall, I don't think I've ever seen this guy with the horns. Me personally.
Yeah.
I don't know who this is. Who is this?
He's the dinner guy.
Wait,
I just jumped into the portal because I saw everyone else leaving.
Yeah, so take a seat like you see everyone else.
Well, it's just
rude.
you.
You're
so
gonna
far.
yeah. Oh, you're being rude. We got invited to dinner. Why is everyone just standing there?
I'm a little bit confused.
is there anybody else in this room besides him? Like, are there any other people there?
So you see it sitting on so the table is a rather large table, long table, and then there's a chair where on the edge where the horned man is sitting, and then on the other side you see a dwarf. Brall, roll for perception.
Will do. I'm also trying to figure out, because my share video button is gone. I was trying to share before, but I'm not able to. There's no button for it.
We'll figure it
What?
out.
Are you talking about?
His what do you call it? His
I was trying to share my screen to share the music.
Yeah.
Straight perception.
Yeah.
15.
Okay.
15.
So you notice sitting there, this dwarf wearing has a golden armor set around him and has a great hammer sitting on the table and a shield over his back. And his hair is kind of slicked back and he has this long beard, kind of Wolverine-like, if you will, where this beard is kind of overtaking his face and his hair is slicked back and tight. And his eyebrows are wild and large. You notice your brother sitting there. Your brother, Belorum.
Balorel.
Oh.
We'll call him Ball.
Bell?
The bell of the ball.
Bill.
But he doesn't turn to look at you. He's just kind of sitting straight forward, looking at the horn man.
Well,
I am extremely skeptical. I recognize him, but knowing this place and knowing everything that we've seen so far, I don't acknowledge him just yet.
Roll a D100.
while he's doing that, I kick my feet up onto the table because I'm sitting next to the shiny dwarf, and I just say, "Isn't it uncomfortable to be wearing your shield while you're sitting?"
Just kind of looks at you.
I thought about that too.
It's around, no, it's around his back, like sitting on his back, and he's kind of leaning up on the chair a little bit.
It's kind of weird. I mean, it has a backrest.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Ninja Turtle.
He kind
Yeah.
of looks at you, and he
Like
always
a turtle that's a ninja.
prepared here in the Feywild.
It's a bit paranoid. Think everyone's going to stab your back?
There's been many attempts.
That's fair. What's your name?
I don't. He just kind of like dazes off, and his face is kind of blank at that moment. Brall, what'd you roll?
I rolled a solid political 51.
Okay, you feel your emotions stronger than normal, but you don't act on them. Okay.
My fingers in front of him as he dazes out.
He's just kind of blank. The horn man stands up. Everybody, please sit down.
I'll sit down.
Yeah, I'll remain
Yeah.
well.
I
Oh,
sit down.
I'll stand around the table next to a chair.
I sit down, keeping my eyes on this individual who looks like my brother.
Okay. He kind of looks at you, and his pure, like his gaze is kind of like really. He's like examining you very closely, but he kind of has an expression about his face. Meanwhile, the horn man kind of leans back, also kicks his feet up, looks over at Ukalo. So, I'm sure you're all very hungry, and it's been a long couple days. How's everybody faring so far in our land?
fine.
I
Feels
could-
like home. It's great.
A little
Could be
confusing.
I
Feel like-
made sure to sit next to the horny man.
The horny man.
Oh, so it feels like home. Are you from here?
As far as I know, yes.
Okay. Interesting.
What
Where
about
about?
you? Where are you from?
Well, that's a long story.
First of all, I'm so sorry. I'm Danan. What's your name?
I'm Fanduel.
Fanduel.
Mhm.
Nice to meet you.
Kind of reaches out like a finger and shakes your hand with his finger.
He's taller than me. Like he's like a big person.
He's like 6 foot, 6'2", maybe in that range.
Oh, geez, I was thinking he was tiny.
I will
Okay,
grab
that
his
changes
hand.
things a lot.
I will grab his hand and shake it.
So you kind of grab his knuckles. His hands kind of like clenched. And he pulls his hand back. Ugh.
You're funny,
Um,
Fenduel.
Anyways, is everybody hungry? And he kind of claps his hands. And then this little tiny flying pixie carries out these entrees, and it's like pork, and he shows another plate, which is steak, like cut up steak, if you will. It kind of puts it on the table. There's enough for everybody. And then she kind of flicks her wrist, and the toppers pull up, and you have an entire roast sitting in front of you with like potatoes and broccoli and all these different foods. And it's still hot and sizzling a little bit.
This is a
So,
terrible scene to be stoned during.
from my experience in the Feywild, like, how much do I recall about the name that I just heard, Thanduil?
Fanduel, roll for history.
Right. Motherfucking history roll. Right, we got 14.
Okay, so you know that there's the Sealy and the Unsealy court.
Mhm.
Okay, and he broke away from the court, and you know that he's upset the Autumn Queen in some way, shape, or form. But that you've heard rumblings, and you've heard, how he is also an illusionist, so he can kind of make you see anything, really. You've heard his expertise in illusion, and that he's broken away from the Unsealy court.
Whoa.
I don't know what is going on with this right now.
Can your spiders do that, Jericho? I kind of jive as I look at these.
I want to take Locke aside real quick, just because he's the one that I most trust and have built the biggest friendship with so far. I'm going to take him aside and say, don't trust anything you see. I know this man, at least from what people have said, or people, whatever you can call these creatures, have said about him. And he's a master of illusion. And the Feywild is nothing to be trusted as well, I'm sure, as you know now. So just keep your eyes peeled.
Eyes are peeled. I don't trust anything I see or hear in this godforsaken place.
I'm going to see what I can coax out of him. So I want to go over to the masked man and ask him, introduce myself, I guess, as Jericho Feywild.
Go ahead.
Feyword or Feywild?
Feyword. Yep. Feyword.
Feyword.
I was wondering if I was hearing that right or not.
Yeah, no, you just didn't hear it correctly. I said it correctly before.
Feyword.
Gotcha.
Feyword.
Okay. So you go up and you go, nice to meet you. Are you not hungry? Like, you kind of stand up in the middle of all the food being served. Are you not hungry?
I've had my fill of Fey food for quite some time, and it doesn't sit as well with me. But I think you know that. You know that I've been here for longer than the rest of these, don't you?
Well, I know that you have motives to get home. That I know. That you've been here trapped. Yes.
Can you help me get home?
Yes, certainly.
Tell me what I need to do.
Well, please sit. We'll get into that in a moment. And enjoy your food. I promise you, this is not anything to be worried about.
Can I investigate it?
The food?
The food? Yeah.
Yeah. Roll for investigation.
Can I take a bite out of it?
I also start eating.
Okay, so the two of you start eating.
Is that a roll? I haven't had a roll in ages.
So 22.
Okay. So you're inspecting the food. You've heard of briefly, well, even in your time here and other people's conversations that they've been having, not to eat the food here. But after further inspection, you don't sense anything weird about it. You kind of seem like this is This is legit.
Legit food from an
Yeah.
illusionist.
You get the sense it's legit.
Like I'm poking at it. I'm just like
It's
poking. Eh.
Yeah.
Eh.
Stop
And
playing
it's like
with your
everything.
You pick up your fork and you kind of flip over some of the meat.
I want to like take a piece of the bread and start like crumbling it and just kind of examine the crumbles.
You're gonna eat that.
Whatever falls off of the crumbles, you can have.
Scrape them into my hand.
I want to put my plate in front of Ukalo and say, "Have mine. I'm not taking it."
All right. I'm gonna pocket some rolls while I'm eating. Sleight of hand.
So, you're wondering probably why I had you come here. I feel like honesty is the best policy. Would you all agree?
Aye.
Get on with it. Yeah, please.
Okay. Well, in short, I need you, and it seems like all of you would probably need somebody of my expertise.
What is your expertise?
Well, portals, my friend, portals. And I can walk various planes, and I can get you all home.
Well, you did bring us here.
I did. But again, that's because I need you, and now that you're here, you need me.
But that's how kidnapping works.
Intelligence saving throw. That makes sense.
Anyways, my name is Thunderbolt. A few days from now, there's actually 3 to be precise, there's going to be the 100th anniversary of the first dinner for the Autumn Queen, where she has this 7-day feast, all honoring her, yada, 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 yada. I would very much like to kill her.
Yeah, so that's blunt.
So we kill her and we get back home, or I mean,
Why?
wherever we get home.
Whoa. We don't just suddenly... I can't believe we're actually discussing just murdering someone we don't know. You don't
Like
kill
we
someone you don't
could.
know.
You tried to
can't
murder
kill
me.
a fairy
You
queen, the Autumn Queen. Are you serious, mate? I put my food down for a second and I just said, we can't kill. She's basically a demigod. What do you expect of us?
Well, I mean, first off, there's purpose behind this, right? Just like your world and mine, as you can see, nature is kind of flickering in and out, ceasing to exist, if you will.
It is.
Yes, and what's happening in your plane is mirroring our plane. And I believe that she is the purpose and the reason why we are faltering, where she wants to build and build and build and destroy just this natural sense of things. Similar to what's going on in your realm, or plane, if you will. I want to stop that from happening here.
What's she building?
Well, tearing down the trees, building forts, stone, lots of masonry, going more towards the technology. Jericho, I've seen your trinkets. They're very interesting, but I'd prefer that not to be the norm here.
I just want to get home. What do you want? You have the power to get us home. What do we need to do?
Well, first off, about 1,000 years ago, give or take, there was a race of giants. They invaded the Feywild. Each one of them was intelligent, powerful, beautiful, and intent on seizing the Fey's magic for themselves. The Seelie and the Unseelie banded together. It was actually quite a moment to see the two sides working together to stop the incursion. And the Autumn Queen actually herself laid a powerful curse on these giants, twisting them into misshapen Fomorian. The Fomorian fled from the light, delving into the dark places beneath the ground, where they carved a new kingdom out of the rock. Huge stone halls, forest of rough hewn columns, and possibly deep obelisks, vaults of gems and gold. Some of you might be interested in that. And the king of the Formian kingdom lording over all of it, really. But what I'm very interested is before this all happened, there was stories of a sword that was taken. A sword powerful enough to actually slay this Autumn Queen. And one of these Fomorians happened to have it. So, simple enough. You go up to the Mark Midden, to the Everdark. You find this Fomorian. Maybe reason with him or kill him. I don't really care, nonetheless. And take that sword and bring it back to me. And then I'll handle the rest.
So we just got to get you a sword and we go back to where we want.
That's it.
For home. Well, I don't know what we're talking about. Seems pretty simple.
What are you gonna do with a sword?
Well,
He's gonna unlock the queen's death.
It's a
So
sword, not a
poetic.
key. He's gonna kill her.
That's right. That's
You
right.
want to kill her?
But that's no concern of mine. I hate this place. I'm fine with seeing a new change of management.
Okay, good, but why you want to do this?
roll for what do you call it?
Insight.
Insight. Yeah, roll insight.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Ten.
Okay. You being from here, I'm going to give you advantage, actually.
Okay.
Elma?
Ooh, okay.
$47.
That's 21.
Okay. He kind of looks over to you. His gaze, he kind of takes his fork and he dives into some of the food, starts eating it. As he's chewing, well, you see. So I watched the squabbles between the Fae elders, the conflicts between the Seelie, the Unseelie, and the temperamental antics of this Autumn Queen for about 100 years. Until I could stand it no longer, and before all the Unseelie court condemned the Queen and all the Unseelie. They're all fools for perpetuating this conflict between the Seelie, the Unseelie, fools for following a queen who cared little for her subjects, and fools for revering the Fae elders when they could rule their own lives so much better. I left the Unseelie court, accompanied by a handful of Fae who had swayed. But my real purpose, and as you probably may have heard, some of you maybe not. As a child, I was abducted as a young boy and brought to the Feywild to be raised among the Unseelie court, where I maintained a station somewhere between pets, plaything, and novel oddity. Yet as I grew up, the magic of the Feywild seeped into me, altering my physicality to make me less human, more Fey. By the time I was grown, the only thing in me that remained human were the memories of a life that I might have had. So outside all the squabble and what she's personally done to me, I'd very much like to see her head on a spike.
That's savage.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
Well,
She sounds like a real bitch. I gotta say, she sounds terrible.
yeah, she kind of sucks. I mean, this all stems from her first party, if you will. She has issues, kind of how she sees herself.
They all do, don't they?
Moving on.
Now, what kind of effect would murdering a queen do to the Feywild?
First off, something that I've promised in advance, that you should probably already know, is this gentleman sitting across from me. He was searching with a family member, I do believe. I'm not exactly certain, but I do believe that our two worlds are connected. So if I kill this queen, I will then summon the Seelie and the Unseelie together, unite them, and we will venture over to your plane and free your land.
Who are these? The Seelie and Unseelie?
Well, the Seelie court, or the Unseelie court rather, is a lot of Fae that the Fae that follow the Autumn Queen, and they believe in this future with mechanics and stonework and buildings and destroying the natural order of things. Where the Seelie like to live in the land and keep their distance.
And you're a member of the Seelie?
Well, me personally, I'm a member of the Court of Decadent.
Dude,
What is that?
That's unseelie. In case you couldn't catch it. What's this about going and stopping? Basically, my entire world of coming to be. I thought that you were saying we could return to our time.
Certainly.
Can you or can you not get me home?
I can get you home, but your home might change a little bit. But you'll be there.
Ooh, describe a little bit.
Well, Mr. Fayward, you're from the future, are you not? Or I guess for you, it's for you, I guess it's the present. But you come from two different timelines, but actually from the same thread.
Ooh, I was wondering about that. It's two separate timelines? So like we're over here and he came from
this.
over here.
Timelines, threads. Stop
So
it.
two
I just want to
separate-
see my family. I'm tired of all this confusing
Unfortunately,
talk.
all this Semet worshipping has really messed things up, if I do say so. So this is going to get a little confusing for you, Jericho. Everything that you know, everything that you've experienced, that's because I ventured to the future to see how things would kind of play out. By doing that, everything did play out. It's kind of a lot of semantics, but I'd very much like to change the way things are going to play out because the way things happen here and there are very much intertwined.
So you're
Jericho,
saying
it
you
sounds
had
like
fun.
he's the one that actually brought you here.
It sounds like he's saying that he toyed with reality just to have a laugh.
Well,
Sounds like the Feywild.
I can tell you there's been very few laughs that have been happening here.
Yeah, no fucking kidding.
Fandra, do you know cement? Is he real?
The gods have a way of showing themselves. There's been many gods I have not. I've been around for thousands of years at this point, but there's been at least hundreds. Lose track, really. The gods show themselves sometimes in mysterious ways. The Semet, let's just put it this way: the gods from your land are losing their power, and they have fled to my land. But even here, are losing their power. So they're still around, yes. And in regards to the Semet, whether it's real, not real, a god or a living god even, from my understanding, the Semet is actually somebody who is still hasn't made himself known to you all, but is very much still alive, a living god.
So much is real.
So he hasn't ascended yet. He's becoming a god.
From my understanding,
So we might have a chance then.
so let's put it this way: he is living in your time, yes, and in the future, he is worshipped, and even now worshipped in your land. But how do I say this?
Entirely.
Yes, entirely. But he is very much alive, and I would dare say killable. Hopefully.
I would like to make a sleight of hand check to try and stuff a roll into the dwarf's boot.
Into the boot of the dwarf?
Yeah, like under the table. Just
Okay.
pop it in there.
Okay.
Does it have? Oh,
13.
Okay. So you pick up this, you said a roll?
Yeah,
Okay. Describe to me how you're doing this.
just going to lean over while I'm eating. Just slide it in.
So as you're
That's what she said.
as you're doing this,
Or he said.
you can see him reach over his shoulder.
They both said it.
He takes his shield and he flips it and he stuffs it down. So as you go to reach in, the shield hits the ground and your hand hits the shield. And he looks over you. This is why I wear my shield.
Well,
Talking
that
Brall's
wouldn't make any
accent.
sense. If I had come from your back, then that would have made sense. But still, it doesn't make sense. And I just toss a roll at the shield and keep eating.
It kind of hits the shield. It kind of slides down. You see like this little squirrel run up, grab it, and then run off.
Cute.
Oh.
So, Fred, did you say that like our emotions, we find it hard to control? Do I need to roll anything to see if I was? Because I was pretty pissed whenever the dandelion door thing happened.
Roll a D100.
Rage.
63.
Same thing. You feel your emotions stronger than normal, but you're not acting on them at this moment.
So I'm just sitting at the table brooding and wishing I could hurt somebody.
So he kind of looks over you. He's like, "Anybody ready for dessert?"
Did anyone actually eat anything?
I haven't touched
Just
my
Ukala?
plate at all. I guess Okala's been eating, and Brall as well. They've been eating a lot.
I mean, look, Fendwell, you must know and must understand that many of us do not find what you're saying to be the whole truth. You must know that we know what the Feywild tends to bring and what the people of the Feywild tend to say.
What, illusions?
I know that you are a man of illusions, is not
He snaps his finger, and then everything around you, all these mushrooms and dandelions and long grass, turns into redwoods. And it's daytime. But the table you're sitting at is the same. The food is the same. Do you prefer less art?
I prefer you to tell me the truth, because I don't think everything you're saying is everything that is.
Wow.
That was deep.
He snaps his fingers again. Everything goes back to, this wild, Feywild. Well, it's everything I've said to you is the truth. I guess what things do you doubt?
If you intend on killing the Autumn Queen, and we end up helping you to do so, what then happens to the realm here? Does it then go under your rule? Are you then?
Yeah, who's the heir to the Autumn Queen?
Well, so I'm already a king in my own right. I have my own little area, if you will, but my job more so is to restore the natural order of things. I would probably assume that mantle, but I don't believe we need kings and queens.
But the Autumn Queen is the natural order if she's been around for thousands of years.
Well,
Dana, you have something to say?
there are kings and queens, and Don't get me wrong. I don't trust him at all.
But what do you
But
mean by there's kings and queens? Is
they change, and I don't know. I mean, as far as I know, and what history tells me is that as long as the queen has been around, it's been peace and some understanding of order. But also, there are things that we don't agree with. The way that they react to other people, other races, everybody who don't belong to the court.
I mean, killing a queen
That's
creates
beyond, yes. That's that
that
because that's
creates a large vacuum.
vacuum.
Well, it's not like we would have to worry about it. We'd be out of here.
Would we?
We
I
would
mean,
be.
we're taking him at his word.
I mean,
So far,
obviously,
it's been good.
you, Fanduel, you're
Don't know what
stronger
you
than
mean
we
by
are.
it's good.
Well, it's
That's
just
Oh,
that
that's right.
Fanduel is way stronger than we are, and he's asking us to go get a sword to a
Just give
land
me a
of
sword.
to a land that we know that is dark and full of dangers, and he's way stronger than us. He could easily do it himself.
The way that I
And
see it,
besides that, he's been playing and toying with us.
So he kind of interjects. First off, I'm here. I can hear you. I'm right here. Secondly,
I'm not trying to say anything against you. I'm just saying the facts.
got it. Well, reasons why I'm not doing this myself is because I can't really be seen doing it. If word gets out that I'm conspiring to kill this queen, then things can get a little bit rough around here. So that's why strangers from a different land who are strong and have a purpose to get back to their lands may actually pull through. That's
But
why.
so what you're telling
I-
us is extortion.
Yeah, and besides that, I am from here, and I do have family here.
That's interesting to me. What? When? Well, I guess. How long have you been over there?
Like a week.
Danon, do you want to stay here?
No, wait. I need to know. It's been like a week, right?
It's been about a little over a week, yeah.
It's been like a little bit over a week.
Then don't tell him anything about anything.
When you left, so first off, how did you get from here to there? Because I'm not bringing people from here to there. I have not.
No, but you are bringing people from there to here.
Yes, I've done that,
And
but I'm not done from
we
here.
want to go back to there.
who else have
And
you?
you are extorting us and making us stay here to do your bidding.
Well, if you prefer to stay here, then by all means, stay
Well,
here.
it sounds like in the future we failed, and that's why the whole existence of Jericho.
Jericho, your existence is an accident.
A proper accident, a right accident. A lot of great things happen by accidents. Thank you very much. So let me understand this correctly, Anduel. You need us to get this sword for you.
Mm-hmm.
So
We
far, so
need
good.
you to get home to our respective homes. I point the group.
Just give him a wink.
And I point at FanDuel. Raise an eyebrow. So you need us, right? We need you. We can operate this on respective needing each other.
1-to-1, as he said, with thread.
I'm like moving my hands, waiting for an answer.
Listen, what I can do for you is, I mean, I'm going to be very frank with you. Yes, I'm trying to change some things that are going to happen.
Yeah, killing a queen is a big deal.
You may not
It's really
exist
not.
in the future, but you may still very well exist in the future if we change things. What I can do, though, is I can go grab your wife, I think you said, and your child,
Child.
and bring them here, and they
Yeah,
can
let's
be with you.
start kidnapping everyone.
It's a whole lot of
That's-
immoral
That is
things
Between
going
you
on.
and me,
Oh, I
If
think
you
that's
could
a fabulous idea.
that would be great. Honestly, Cement just made me really sad whenever I masturbated as a child, and I'm totally fine to be rid of that if that's what you can promise me.
That's a very interesting. I mean, so explain to me your beliefs in this cement.
Explain to me how your childhood was.
Yes.
With
Go up or down or side to side.
did your parents catch you? Is that what it was?
Excuse me. Are you my whatever we as the Cement use as our worship leader, pastor? Are you my?
you have like something like cement guilt.
Yes, exactly. I have some Semeshian guilt.
Mission guilt.
Smitten guilt.
Okay.
Interesting.
You can help me get connected
Get over
with
your
my family, then you have done more for me than Semed ever has.
I can't get all of your family, like your father, your brother, your mothers. I can't
Oh,
get.
kid. It's really what I care.
All right.
You have to pick a favorite child.
If it's that simple, then just see it done.
Put my hand out as if to shake for a deal.
He kind of reaches his hand out, like this floating spectral hand goes up to you, and he kind of.
Don't let that count. That doesn't count.
No, give me your flesh. I hold my hand out.
That's what you said.
He pulls off like this long red glove, flesh. Okay,
I shake it heartily.
it's like
Thoroughly.
all right, and you kind of like hold his hand back. And he like shakes it off. Okay.
That's yeah.
All right.
We have a deal.
Okay, so let's start with the order of things here. So first things first, you must.
So far, you have 2 people that
Two
have
people.
made your deal.
Oh, we need
Dude,
to really go.
That's
Okay.
all you need. But
We are not together.
All
Our
right.
decisions are not together.
So
I
he
thought
snaps.
we designated somebody here as the decision guy. Bro, what do you think about all this?
I personally, I don't know the Autumn Queen. I don't know anything about her. There's no reason for me to pursue her death.
except for wanting to get home.
Except for getting out of this place.
He
I
kind
mean,
of.
I just got here, and to be honest, I'm okay with the idea of seeking an alternative to finding a murder weapon to get home.
That's fair.
So you kind of Thandor to you. So that over there, that is your brother. He needs to get home because he's been here for a very long time and he's not quite remembering things the way he used to. Initially,
You have his brother?
well, he was looking for a way to stop the cement worshippers. So I thought we could work together. I told him that, hey, you help me, I'll help you. Kind of a similar thing we're doing here. He went to go find the sword. It took him a long time, and then he kind of stumbled his way back. Time works a little funny here, and so on. His memory's not quite the same, and he doesn't really remember what he was doing.
So you
Memory
have his
is not the same as in erased or scrambled.
It's a little bit of both.
He's just been kind of staring at me since I picked him back up.
Mm.
I can say to you from personal experience that if it hadn't have been because of my extreme amount of journaling and hardy exercises that I've taken with my own mind that have made it as a steel trap, this place would have torn it asunder.
I hope there was a daily gratitude journal in there.
Daily gratitude, all of it. Yeah, it's pretty intense.
A lot
Good
a
work.
lot of reasons for Semet to have been mad at you during this time. alone in
There's
your
a lot of
cabin.
apologizing in there, but I'm not going to go into that with you.
No, I will say this. There was another one accompanying the dwarf. He's a little paralyzed at the moment, as you can see, but we haven't quite found his friend that he was with. He does ramble on about a bang.
Bane.
Bang?
Yeah, cousin.
Is he? He's paralyzed. Wait,
Well,
like he can't.
not paralyzed. His brain's just,
I'm gonna try to slip another roll in his boot.
I'm a fan of the Fae.
what was that, little frogman? What did you say? You're a fan of the Fae?
No, sorry, that was Terry.
I figured as much.
Lox has been stewing just at the table, and he's a lot of this conversation is over his head. So he's gonna jump up on the table, just whatever's right in front of him. He's gonna kick towards you, whether it's a drink or food or it doesn't matter. Just kind of kick it, and then look at Danon and Princess. I don't like it here. I want to go home.
Okay.
I want to walk towards Devil Guy, and then just kind of look at you in your little eyes and get me home. And then I'm walking off.
All right. So I will get you home. What you'll see through the north is if you venture north, about 20 minutes or so north, I will open up a door. I've had various doors actually all over this island, and you'll be able to go through. It'll take you to the north to the Avadark, if you will, outside of a little cavern, and from there you can venture underneath and find the sword. Get the sword, bring it back. You all go home.
Wait, you can make a door from any one point to any other point? We got to like 20 minutes to get to this door?
Oh, no. It's not from any one point to any point. I've had to craft these doors, and it takes a lot of time to do that. So that one I crafted 20 minutes. No.
I feel like a little bit more forethought could have been added to that, but I'll allow it.
I will ask you.
I mean, it's quite a simple thing. The door you came from is over here. If you want to go back to that area, feel free to walk through that door, and you're back where you came from. If you want to go forward north, we'll have another door that goes further north, and it's about 20 minutes from here.
All right. Can we all just like come together without Sanduel? Can we just discuss this? Huddle.
Team huddle.
Would you like me to leave?
Sure,
want
if
to
you can
Sure.
leave, that would be
Or-
great.
Just cover your ears.
And he turns into smoke, and then all the food on the table is still there, and then he kind of reappears, but only half his body. He's like, "I'll be taking this too." Then snaps his fingers, and all the food disappears off the table, and he just kind of, and then he turns into smoke.
I don't even think
Thanks.
any of that food was real.
All
I'm
of, a
still
sudden,
like,
Tasted real.
all of a sudden, the chicken wing comes flying out of nowhere and hits you on the side of the head. Did that feel real?
I thought you were gone.
apparently, he's still right here.
Yeah,
Sanduel,
guys. I
get the
wouldn't
fuck out.
I
Yes,
wouldn't really
that.
trust him to not be listening, considering how many times he's showed up in the middle of nowhere.
Why are you talking to yourself? Why are you talking?
I'm so sorry, guys. Like, we're not usually like this. This guy is full of shit. Like, really, this is like a jerk. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Brall. I don't know why he has a brother. He wants to kill the queen, and he kidnapped all of you. And even, like, Jericho, like, you got involved in all of this? I'm so
Jericho's
sorry.
been here for a much longer time than us. too.
Yeah. So I don't know why he didn't contact him or say anything to him directly originally.
As you say that, you hear it, and then sitting at the edge of the table, with his feet up, eating an apple. I'm really surprised that you don't want to kill the queen either.
Oh my god, get the fuck. What the fuck?
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Why me?
Well, so I did a little digging in the few brief moments that I've been gone. It doesn't take me long. I'm quite quick with the book. How long have you said that you've been in the other world?
A little bit over a week. What are you talking about?
And Danon, what area are you from? When was the last thing you remember when you were here?
I don't know if that's something you should be disclosing.
If you're trying to manipulate me, you already know that I have family here. So do your best.
Right. Well, that's kind of what I'm getting to the point on. You do have family here, but it might not be quite what you remember since you left.
Are you saying that there's been some time that has passed?
Well, I don't think, Danon, that you're from this. I mean, I didn't transfer you out. So if it was a week and a half ago over there, he's kind of doing all this math in his head. You've been gone for quite some time.
Oh, really? How much? How long?
Well, this is now the 1000th anniversary of the first dinner and the first festival of the Autumn Queen. How many festivals would you say that you've been around for?
Danon?
Carry on.
Wait, now how many?
To my understanding, it was the first one.
Whoa.
Well, we are in quite the paradox, aren't we? But carry on with the conversation. And he snaps and he turns into smoke.
No, you come back and you tell me.
Right. Well, it seems like as much of a pledge of trust we've made between each other, we've still got our share of secrets.
There wasn't a secret. I told you I left with... Okay, Ukalo. We're here because of you. You're making deals and you don't trust me?
I'm not making deals. I'm just
were,
following
yeah.
people. And I followed you.
No,
This was your deal.
It was your deal.
Hello.
Right.
This was your deal. So don't come and say that you don't trust me. I've been open since right at the beginning.
Okay.
You've been keeping things, and you've been doing deals behind our backs, and we're trying to protect everybody.
There was
And
no
I'm
behind anybody's back. There were several times I tried to tell everyone
What are we
that
doing
was
here?
the horny man. I have no idea.
Yeah, and we're here having dinner because of you
Yeah. He
in
said
another
dinner.
plane,
Yeah.
and you brought us here.
No.
But
Wait.
but I am not the
Hello.
one to trust.
Who
I
did you
didn't bring
see
you
in the
here.
door?
You
Who did
did.
you see in the door?
I saw the horny man
In the door.
in the door. Yes.
I saw someone else.
My shorts start flaming a little bit.
Who did you see in the door?
I saw, yeah, well, I guess it's a bit hypocritical at that point, but I saw someone from the past, someone I've opened up to you about, I do believe. Maybe not. No, I don't think I have.
And the deal with the witch in the forest as well.
What witch? That nice young lady who offered me some. Okay, you want to know what I made the deal in the
that
forest
one.
with?
So you made a deal.
I made a deal in the forest. I didn't make. It's not a deal. She said she knew where Song was. I saw Song in the door. Now I know you don't know who that is, but I saw her. It sounds like we all saw someone else.
Yeah, I saw my sister.
Someone from my past as well.
In case it wasn't clear, this guy is the master of illusion.
Yeah.
sure
Yes.
somebody saw somebody that was very sacred to yourself, and yes, we're all pouring out tears of heartache and sadness over it. Listen, we have the chance to get home.
Exactly.
Do any of you care about this Autumn Queen? Are any
Not
of you,
really.
Are any of you very especially like caring of the unseelie?
No.
You really like imps and giants and cyclopses and all these other manner of just disgusting.
You must understand that when you affect a whole other plane of existence, it affects others.
Do we know that for certain? Can we A/B test that right now? Then it doesn't matter.
Not to mention, the Autumn Queen, from what I know about her, is not exactly a bag of peaches.
I know nothing about her.
But it
so-
sounds like she's been in power for over 1,000 years.
Yeah, So tyrants.
So
have been in
so
power
what
for
happens
1,000
when
years.
you when you take her out of the equation of the Feywild?
She
We
did
get
something-
home.
Carla, make a history check.
This
That'll be 17.
it was Carla. Oh, Carlo.
Danan, sorry. I meant to say Danan. I said Carla.
It happened last episode too.
I meant to
Yeah.
say
I heard
Danan.
Carlo.
I said Carla. And sorry,
I heard that
Carla.
too.
My apologies.
Okay, so that's at 14. Total.
Okay. So something that you remember is the Eladrin fled the Dreadwolf across the Feywild. Okay, and you remember this like it was a week and a half ago, when they fled the Dreadwolf across the Feywild. They came before the Autumn Queen, Ilvania, seeking shelter within her walls. She welcomed you all with open arms, offering you food and lodging and a place of honor within the Unseelie court. She called all the Unseelie Fae from throughout the Twilight to her area and decreed a feast of welcome that would last 7 days and nights. That was the last thing that happened, right?
Yeah.
And then
On the third day.
on the third day, when of feasting, she brought your sister up in front of her, and her sister sang, and everybody thought that she was beautiful and gorgeous. And that's after your sister sang that song. That's the last thing you remember of being in the Feywild.
I told that to everybody.
I just
What?
And that
mean,
was
this is
and
not-
that was 1,000 years ago. So
it's
You're
not
from
very
the-
comprehensible.
you're from the future, Jericho. And I'm from the past.
But does that mean that Jericho is from 1,000 years in the future? I'm so freaking confused.
If we're in another plane of reality, it's not the same time.
Danan,
It's
is it
keeping
possible
track
this is
of
not
two different
your-
times.
Is it possible that this is not your Feywild?
I'm smart enough to know that I'm dumb enough to
think-
not understand how time works in these places.
I think that is my Feywild, and I think that I've been gone, and 1,000 years has passed.
1,000 years in 1 week?
Lox, make a perception.
Is
the
that-
Feywild.
It's
in the
different
Feywild.
times.
But I
You
mean,
can't begin
days
to
or
understand how
months.
these things work.
22.
My family is.
So while everybody's talking, you kind of look up and you notice that the trees are kind of above you. They're back to being shrooms and dandelions and all these different wild, exotic, kind of like a bug's life, if you will. But you notice that you see something kind of coming down from the top from a bunch of these trees, kind of pulling themselves down, but you can't really make it out what they are. But you can see something kind of sliding down, almost like a rope, if you will, from the tops of these trees. As you notice that, Brall, your brother stands up and he points out his hand, and he makes a symbol in the air, and you can see this pattern. And he starts turning it, and he takes his shield and he puts it inside the symbol, and all of a sudden it starts spinning. And he pushes the shield open and he steps through, and then all of a sudden all the smoke appears, and you can see the horn man. Well, that's my cue. Got to go, and he jumps through the portal that your brother created, and then closing it, the shield on the other side. Both of them disappear.
You went through it too?
But the shield is like clatters to the ground, or that disappears as well.
The shield's gone.
Fuck.
And the brother as well.
Brother's gone, and
How many
All right,
of us
something-
other also
is
sticky
very
stuff.
wrong.
Can I
So
look
do-
around and see what remains?
Can I
Okay.
tell?
I'm
Can I
gonna
tell if
draw
these
my
things-
bow.
Sorry,
Can I,
would you say?
well,
Lux?
I haven't said anything yet. Can I tell if these things are beasts or do they have weapons or can I tell?
As they're getting closer, you can see it's not a creature that you recognize, but it's definitely a creature.
All right.
I draw
Everybody,
my bow.
shut the fuck up.
Ah.
And I just use my Crimson Right, taking 4 damage to add fire to my arrows.
Okay. I'm gonna have all of a sudden an arrow comes flying by, and Danon misses your head. Another arrow comes flying by. Jericho misses your head, and
I flip the table and say, "Get down!"
okay, so you guys slip the table. I'm gonna have everybody roll for initiative.
Yeah, finally, yay!
We still have a lot to talk about, by the way.
Is that dirty? Is that dirty 20?
Dirty 20 as well.
Okay,
I also
hold on,
have a
hold on
dirty
a second,
20.
One second.
Hi, husband.
I have a moist
wife.
18.
Okay,
Same.
so Yukalo, you have what did you roll?
I rolled a 16.
16. Locks.
22.
Loki
Good
Lonnie.
rolls. I did a dirty 20.
They were good rolls.
Good rolls. Good rolls, everyone.
Danon.
A dirty 20 as well.
Brall. Here's a 4.
Moist 18.
Jericho.
An even dirtier 18.
You
Moisture.
guys all very good rolls.
Dirtier, moisture.
Moister.
I'll
Okay,
be back.
so
We are not caught on a surprise. That's for sure. Wow.
Well, we have the advantage of lots. Oh, it's looking out for us.
all right, here we go, folks. 1 second, we'll get it organized over here.
Do I need to have something up so I can move my character?
You will. You should everybody should have roll 20 up.
Oh,
I got it out.
oops.
Up.
Let me know when everybody's in.
That's what she said.
Oh god. That's so much worse. Let me know when everybody's in. I can barely feel it. Just let me know.
Just tap me on the leg when you're done.
All right, are we ready?
5 seconds.
She said.
I'm so worried for you, Brall.
All right. Made it.
Okay. So you're in this field. You can see the table. Right now, I have these guys on. Oh, by the way, this was your brother, so you can see it.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
Oh, hi, brother.
Hola,
He is
hermano.
gone, and so is
Who is this, hermano?
so what you see right now
Thank you for that.
is 1 second. Sorry, pull up. Where is my tracker? Okay.
I appreciate the Arrested Development reference.
Thank you.
Okay, so you see these Carla, or excuse me, oh my gosh, Danon, you recognize them as goblins, kind of coming down from the tops of these trees.
Goblin!
Google gobs.
And I'm gonna have Locks. You're gonna start off here with your first up.
Is it possible to take a break right before the battle?
We do have to end by 10 o'clock tonight.
Okay.
Then proceed.
Power through.
Okay.
Then
So pushing through.
5-minute break.
Okay. If you want a 5-minute break, take a 5-minute break. We could take a quick break.
I
All right.
need to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We will take a quick break, guys. And we will be right back.
I'll be back in 30 seconds.
Oh.
Sounds good. We will see you all soon. All right, everybody. Welcome back. If you could please unmute yourself so that way we can make sure that we're all good to go. Sorry, I muted every single one of you before we took that little quick break. So where we last left off, for everybody that's watching, Brall's brother, Brallum, it's going to kill me trying to pronounce that name. He stood up unannounced, and he created this circle in the air with this almost like this Celtic symbol inside of it in the air. It was like this bright green glowing symbol that he drew with his finger in the air. He then took his shield and he placed it inside this circle, and he spun the shield around, and then he pushed the shield and it opened, and it was a portal, and him and Thanduil stepped through it and then closed the portal on the other side. As this happened, Lox noticed coming down from the tops of these trees and these various dandelions and things of that nature. He saw these creatures kind of coming down off rope, and as this happened, some arrows flew by everybody's heads, and Ukalo flipped the table, and after flipping the table, Lox, it is on you. What would you like to do?
Are all these guys on the ground, or are there any of them still up in the trees? Or
so I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but what you see is you see 5 goblins kind of coming down from the top that are up, that are kind of the arc above you. They're all slowly coming down, but they have these short bows drawn, pointing down at you guys from atop. The other 3 goblins, looking a little bit different, are kind of they're on the ground surrounding you at this moment, and you can see everything kind of unfolding around you.
Got it. Okay. And is there high ground around me, or am I just behind a table?
So right now the table is flipped. So this table is flipped, and I'll let you guys kind of set yourselves up. So the table flipped. So picture it flipped. Where do you guys want to be kind of positioned as Ukalo flipped it?
I was hoping that I would flip it like in the direction that the arrows were coming from, so we could use it as a barrier.
Okay. So first off, let's just say that you guys are on this side then. Does that sound good? You guys kind of went around to this side?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or, yeah, sure. Yeah.
And the table was flipped.
Okay. All right. I just want to be able to peer around the corner enough to get a shot at somebody who is not facing me or who's busy climbing or otherwise doesn't notice me.
Okay, so as you kind of look around the table, you can see to the left, you see this menacing orc. He kind of goblin. He's hooded. His snarling teeth. His teeth are kind of jagged and pulling out, and he is holding. One moment. You can see him holding a scimitar, and a javelin is over his back.
Okay. All right, fuck it. I'll go for him.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to use sharpshooter. I'm going to roll a sharpshooter and try to. He hasn't moved, right? Mm-hmm. Since we've done initiative, and then try to assassinate him.
Okay.
So it's a -5 already. So 17 plus. God, it's been so long. What am I adding? Dex?
For yours, I believe it's Dex. Right?
Oh, never mind. Yeah, sorry. But God, I need to get some sleep. 17 plus 7, so 24. 24 to hit.
24 does hit.
Okay. Let's see. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. What is 16 times 2? 20, 32? 30, 32?
32.
All right, 32 plus 10, 42. So 42 damage.
Oh.
And
okay.
5 poison if he's poisoned.
As you do this, the goblin starts kind of. So you shoot your arrow, and the goblin starts kind of twitching back and forth, and disappears. And the goblin that was up on top comes down, and they switch places. And then the arrow comes through, killing the goblin that was initially in the air coming down.
Okay. With that, I'm gonna take a step back and hide wherever I can. I don't know, is any of this shrubbery I can hide, or is it the table the best place to hide?
So you can. I mean, it's there. There is shrubbery around you. So all this green, they're like bushes. They're very large bushes.
Got it. All right, I'm just gonna slide over to the bushes and hide the best I can.
Okay. Who's drawing an X? Is that you,
That
Kyle?
was me. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you could draw. That's cool. Interesting.
It's not that guy though, right? Is it?
No, it was that guy that died. So they swapped places. Next is going to be Danan.
Okay, so I will try to pick around this corner.
Okay. So you can move. So you move 5 feet.
Like here, and I will fire bolt this one right here.
Okay.
That's a 14 to hit.
That does not hit. So as you shoot your fireball, one moment here. Okay, so you shoot your fireball, and you go to aim, and it misses to the right, and it starts a fire in the shrubs over here.
Okay. I will then use one of my sorcery point to try it again.
Okay.
That's a 19 total.
That'll hit.
That's going to be 7 damage.
Okay.
Wow.
So as you do that, he starts twitching and kind of blinks out of your view. And then coming down, he swaps places with the other goblin. This goblin, however, does die.
Okay, and then I'm
Firebolt
going...
goes flying through, hitting this goblin. So as he tweaks, his eyes kind of freaked out. He didn't expect to be in this position. He was holding onto a string. His hands are still like this, and he's standing there, and he has this blank expression upon his face. This fireball comes flying through, hitting him in the chest, evaporating him in smoke, and he flies back, landing into the shrubbery behind him, and the fire gets bigger.
Okay, and with the remaining of my movement, I would like to go back to where I was here. And that's it.
Okay. Next after you, Danan, is going to be Loki Lani. Hey, why is there an X over this goblin? Somebody remove that X. This guy's not dead. Who's green? Eric. Oh, you guys with your drawing. Oh, God. I didn't know you had these controls.
No problems here. I don't know what you're talking about. It's first places, remember?
Okay.
Sleight of hand.
Loki, what do you want to do? You're muted.
Loki, you fool.
Loki, you fool. Follow, you fool.
Fly, you fools.
I don't know how I got muted.
I muted everybody
I didn't mute
before
myself.
when you guys took a break.
Okay. So you guys don't know about this, but I've been talking this entire time.
Shocking.
No, apparently.
Shocking.
No.
You talking? Shocking. Okay, what do you want to do?
Shots fired.
So in order to make things right, I'm gonna look at the goblin that's not supposed to be crossed out, that is very heavily
Well, that
crossed
No, that
out.
one is supposed to be crossed out.
This one's supposed to be dead, like the one that's circled.
Yes, this one is dead.
That was dead. That one is definitely.
I thought the other one was moved and that was dead.
No,
But
They
okay,
moved over there.
okay. So I will then fire at the closest enemy, which is, I guess, this one.
Yeah, but he's on the other side of the table. The table.
Am
is
I able to see over the table though? Like, is the table so high that I can't?
It's not
see
so
much?
high. You're crouched down behind it right now. So it's but you'll be giving away. You'll be.
You got to
I think I
stand
can, I
up.
think I can give away my position. I think we all know where we are.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stand up, fire an
That's the
arrow
end of your
at
turn.
that guy.
That's 3 actions.
Okay. So you
Damn
stand up, draw your bow. Okay. So and roll for attack.
Terrible. I'll sit back down.
What was it?
It was like a 3, so I'm gonna sit back down.
Okay. So your
Did
arrow
you get him?
comes flying by him, and then hits the shrubbery behind, and then causing an even bigger flame over here.
We're gonna
Oh,
nudge
man.
Loki and be like, "Did you get him?"
No, but I
so
think
as
I
you-
got
as you
everything
stand up-
else.
So I like to narrate these. As you stand up, Loki, you pull your arrow, and your finger kind of accidentally hits the end of the arrow as it goes flying by, or as you begin to release, and the arrow kind of veers off to the right, and the flames hit into the shrubbery, and then smoke and fire kind of just encompasses all the shrubbery that's over on the side.
I don't know if I should specify that. I mean, technically, it's a 10 with my bonus, but
That's fine.
yeah, it's
All
shit.
that just happened. Okay. And then from the top over here, looking over, he can see. Let me see here. Okay, he's going to actually swing out. So he's actually going to swing on the rope, and he's going to swing out to the left, and he's going to kind of come around this way. In doing so, he actually opens himself up to you guys behind the table, and then he's going to throw a javelin at Yukalo. And let me get my dice.
Whoa.
I am still the main person on the screen, by the way.
What do you mean?
Spotlight.
Oh, my apologies. My bad. We're getting used to all these camera things. So he throws a javelin at you, Yukalo, after swinging out to the side, kind of pushing himself, holding onto this rope, throwing this javelin, and he rolls I had him roll with disadvantage, but he rolled a 19 still. Does that hit?
No, my shorts light on fire.
Okay. So that will be damage-wise. That is going to be 5 damage.
All right.
After him, Brall, your turn. So this real quick, actually, before as he swings out, he throws this javelin. It's kind of like it's wobbling a little bit in the air. It's not too. It's not like thrown like super strong, and it's kind of coming down, but it lands and it slices the side of your leg, Yukalo, as you're peering out the side of this table. It comes by and slices the side of your leg, kind of gouging your thigh. Next is Brall. You're up, Brall. You're muted.
Brawl, you're muted.
Okay, I just unmuted you.
Thank you.
You got to do it from
That's what I was trying
StreamYard, buddy.
Yeah, I'm not able to talk in chat either for some reason. But I would like to stand up, hurl a javelin at the closest one
Closest
to me.
you. So where you're standing, you're
So-
what? 4 foot, 5'2" or 4'2"? Table's about 6 feet. Okay, table's about 6 feet, so you can't see on the other
5'10".
side of the table. But you do see this this goblin swinging on this essentially vine, if you will, to the side, up in the air, about 5 to 35 feet up from you.
I mean, I'm also fine. I'm
Yeah,
also fine
you can
just
move
running
if you
over
want,
to the
but
side and
You didn't say
trying
you
to.
were, so.
Yeah. Let's see, right here. Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Is there
Right there,
cover
you're in
over
the
here, or am I
Cover
out
would
in
be
the
more
open?
over here.
Okay. Yeah, I can't get that far. I'll just go right here, and then
You still can't see over the table. But you can from that angle, you can see him, yeah. But
Can I
he
see
is
this
high
guy?
up, about 50 feet away from you.
all right. I mean, if he's 50 feet away from
Okay.
me, I'll throw a javelin at his
So
face.
with all your might, you kind of take 4 steps forward, lunging your shoulder, throwing, and roll for attack.
It shouldn't be too bad. A strong 16.
Okay. So a strong 16 misses. And it goes off into the right. And as you go to fight, you kind of stumble, tripping over your foot, and it goes flying to the right into this fire over here. And the fire actually grows a little bit bigger. Anything else you'd like to do, bro?
I'm going to tell Goku to put that spirit bomb away.
Nice.
Good call.
No, that is it.
Okay. After Brall is going to be Jericho.
All right. I
Moment,
take off.
debut. What is the? Here we go, buddy. What's your first move here?
So
Oh shit!
I take
He
off.
hasn't attacked anything yet.
I take off my metal backpack and roll it across the ground. It's like a cylinder, essentially, that was like attached to my backpack. It's like about yay large, 1.5 feet. I roll it out, and legs, like it kind of starts unfolding from itself, and a gun, like, or a metal cylinder kind of retracts out of it, and legs come out of it. And I say, Eldritch Cannon, heed my will. Fire upon the goblins. Rain your terror down upon them.
Whoa!
Amazing. Okay. Which goblin are you attacking though?
Oh, the closest one.
So you're right here. The closest one to you is all the way up in this tree that you can see. You can't see him across the table unless you move.
No. So I roll. I have got like a separate creature thing that I can control, and I can move
Okay.
30 feet and fire my weapon as a bonus action. So not even an actual action.
Okay. Let's make 1 second. What kind of creature is it?
It is a Eldritch Cannon and a Force Ballista version.
Okay. So it will be
Like a mechanical spider looking thing. But with a
Like a
big
familiar but mechanized.
with a big old gun.
okay. So this thing comes flying out. And let's it kind of
Is it a saw?
over, and it shoots its cannon over here
Uh-huh.
and roll for attack.
All right. 16. Not sure what I add to that.
Be your Should say it on your sheet. Let me see.
So
Did it come with a stat block?
I'm trying to look. I'm looking at like the Eldritch Cannon like thing in D&D Beyond.
Let's see something.
I'm looking for. I don't even see it on your sheet. What is it?
Eldritch Cannon, that's under my actions. Create Eldritch Cannon. And on the hit, it does 2d8 and can target 120 feet in its range. Where is it?
Tiny or small.
Oh, I have to do a dex save.
There you go.
So it's a dex DC 14. Okay, so I have to do a dexterity saving throw.
There we go.
So let's change that. Okay, so you don't roll for attack. Dexterity
Aha, I
throw
didn't.
on. One moment. Let me find my. Okay. That is a save. So unfortunately, that will shoot its missile, and it's going to land behind over yonder and miss. But he does deal. It lands close enough where the shells pick up, and make and he gets hit with some shrapnel. It deals half damage. So roll for half your damage.
7 damage.
Okay, so 7 damage was what you rolled.
I
Someone
rolled
playing music?
1d8, and it was 7 damage.
1d8 with 7 damage. Okay. So then he takes 4 damage.
No. Well, because it should be 2d8 for normal damage.
Is it? I'm reading it right now. It's not.
So it's force ballista.
2d8 fire damage. So you rolled 2d8 and you rolled 7 damage total, or you rolled 14?
Well, if I
Roll
No,
2d8.
oh 2d8. All right. So 9
9 total.
total.
So he's going to take 5 points of damage. Okay.
Excellent. And I assume was deploying that my action.
That was your action.
All right. Then I not cower, but I hide stealthily behind the table.
Okay.
I valiantly get
That-
behind cover.
You can tell their courage is my main thing. Courageously, I hide.
Okay. So as you roll out this cannon, it fires. It misses to the right, but shrapnel kind of explodes like a bomb, hitting this goblin in the leg. Blood starts to kind of spew out. He kind of gives this menacing like squeal as it happens. Yukalo, your turn.
Right. I'm going to try to scare him. So I'm going to pop up and yell, and I'm going to jump up on top of the table, balancing on it, and yell, "Cowards! I am the Autumn Queen's right hand, and my companions and I control fire." And at that point, my breeches are going to light on fire because I'm really, really laying it on. And I'm just going to say, "She will burn you like this forest for your transgressions. Now leave this place."
Okay, so as you
Should I roll something for that?
Yeah, roll for intimidation.
Awesome. That's going to be a 23.
Ooh. So as you kind of shout up and you, what's one more sentence you want to say?
We shall feast on your bones.
Okay. So as you say that, you're kind of shouting. There's a lot of noise happening to the right with the fire. So this half of the field can't hear you starting from the center to the right because of all the noise. But you do this goblin right here.
I don't see me fiercely alight my pants.
Kind of looks over at the flame across from him, and he's like, "Screw this!" And he starts to run away.
I'm gonna hop back down, using the rest of my movement to just get right back down and draw my short sword, just so that I'm ready. And I'm gonna say to everyone behind the table, I hope they left. There were a lot of them. It was kind of scary.
Okay. As you do that, this goblin is going to drop down over here.
Do you want to put it on screen?
No. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's a good idea. I don't know if you guys are. Oops, sorry. Watching. I don't know if you guys can see this on your own Roll20 as well as I'm doing. And then next is going to be this guy is going to kind of swing out, and as he does, as he's swinging, he catches a glimpse of Brall. You're back here, right?
Yeah.
So as he does, he catches a glimpse of you, but he's going to roll with disadvantage. And that is going to be 12 plus. And he throws a javelin at you. It's going to be 16 to hit.
That's a miss.
Okay, so as he swings, he throws the javelin, and he ends up over here, and then he's dropping down to the ground. He throws the javelin, and it goes wide right, or wide left, rather. Your left. Well, your right. His left.
His left.
It goes flying by, and it barely almost hits the Eldritch cannon that's sitting there. And then next is going to be this goblin is going to swing out, and then as he does, he doesn't see anything. He's going to start dropping down. And then next is this goblin, and he starts to drop down as well. And next is this goblin. So this one's on the ground. He's actually going to run across. As he does, he jumps up onto this chair, and he swings down at what do you call it? At Jericho, using his scimitar. And that is going to be a 16 to hit, Jericho.
16 to hit will hit.
Okay, so you're going to take 5 points of damage, and then he's going to slash again with his scimitar, and that's going to be another 16 to hit, and you're going to take another 5 points of damage.
Jesus Christ.
So he comes across as you're kind of cowering down after your last attack. He swings down, slicing you on the arm, and then he comes across, slicing you again, making a giant X on your shoulder blade.
Just what I need, more scars.
And now we are going to be back at the top of the order. But however, guys, we are going to have to end tonight's episode here.
Dun dun dun.
We're going to start with Ducks at the beginning of next episode. I do apologize for having to cut it short. I have some things I need to take care of. But with that being said, next week, Wednesday, we will be back here again at 7:30 to 8 p.m. Probably going to be closer to 7:45 p.m. Start time, Pacific time. And we bring you more Nat One Network. Hopefully, did you guys have a good time getting back into the swing of things today?
Yeah, it's nice to be back.
I had to reread a lot of my stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, writing the recap was a really good refresher.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun playing with you guys. I know it didn't go as long as normal, but we will be back next week for a full episode starting around 7:30 next week. So for everybody watching, please smash that like button, subscribe to the network,
Crack that bell.
Or follow on Twitch.
Or follow on Twitch or
And Twitter.
Or whatever social media. You know how it goes. Just a friendly reminder.
Sad.
Anyways, but until next time, guys, we'll see you then.